welcome to the Wilderness Off-Road channel. Now today we're doing some big upgrades to the Outback, but before I start, I want to mention that I started a new Facebook group. It's all about just car camping, kind of in the Midwest area, so the link to that is down in the description. It's a fresh new page, so there's little activity at the moment, but if you guys join and start sharing all your thoughts, pictures, maybe we can get it to grow pretty quickly. And it is labeled private at the moment, but it is open to everyone. That's just for me to weed out some spam and stuff like that. But I do allow people to share their socials, so feel free to join, and let's grow the community and enjoy everyone's I guess trips and thoughts and new ideas. But today we're talking about roof racks. So roof racks, I've been running the Anderson Design and Fabrication bars for quite some time. Absolutely love them. I've always wanted a full rack system though, since basically I bought the Outback. I just didn't have the oomph to buy one yet. And anyways, I met the Sherpa guys out in Missouri when my car was in the Moore Expo, and I heard a little rumors here and there that they may be coming out with an Outback, and then following them closely on social media, they started teasing a little bit here and there, so I knew it was coming. And the guys are pretty cool, and I was like, I'm gonna wait till it comes out, and they finally put out the pre-order back about a month ago. I immediately jumped on that, and so I'm excited. It's here now, and we're gonna get it installed. It's a no drill system. It's should take, well, it's gonna take me a little longer because I'm filming, but they have great videos as well. But I'm gonna show you to my best abilities, and this will allow me to carry a lot more weight, add a lot more accessories. It's just going to give the Outback a little tougher look, which I love. And yeah, so I broke down and finally purchased a roof rack, and I'm just super pumped. I want to get this all completed as fast as I can, because I've been wanting something like this for quite some time. So anyways, we're going to hop into taking the sealing down the headliner. We don't have to take it out, so we're just dropping it a little bit so that we can get to all the lying bolts or nuts for the current roof rack. Pop that out. We're going to unbox the Sherpa rack and get that all installed. So hopefully it doesn't take too long. I expect it to be finished by the end of today, so super pumped. But let's just get right into it, and we're gonna head over to the Outback. Alright guys, so we're at the rear of the Outback, and I'm gonna point out some key areas where all the clips are and some of the screws. And then yeah, I'll leave a link down in the description to Sherpa's video. They did a really great job on showing you how to remove the 5th gen and 6th gen Outback headliners, but I'm just going to point out some key areas. But if you check those videos out, comment down in their video that I sent you. And so yeah, let's get this headliner down. I'll show you. So starting in the rear, so I'm going to go over one side, but obviously do it on the opposite side as well. So we have little bolts under these little baggy holders. Just use Phillips to get those out, and then there's clips. There's a specific clip like right here, and then there's clips all up in here. So you take all those out, and they just pop out. So we'll use a tool to kind of pop everything out, and then moving along, there's more clips along here, and then we'll move on to the handles. So for the handles, you use little needle nose tool to pop this out, and this side as well. And then you get access to a few other components to pop this handle off. And then moving to the front, we have to take off the pillars here. So those simply pop off, and then some of the more difficult parts are these. So we use the needle tool once again to pop this off, and there's some hardware there that you use the tool to loosen that. And then we'll take off the gasket here. I'm going to mark where the center is just so I somewhat get this back in the same orientation. But mark that, and then we just have to slowly pop everything down. We're going to drop this hopefully just to about the tops of the seats. I might take that headrest down so that I can kind of, I don't know if it'll even reach all the way down here, but get down to there, and then we can have access to the full roof. So, whoops. One other bit here is we do need to remove this piece as well. There's a bolt behind this little cover, so you just want to be careful not to drop that down this column. Otherwise, you might want to just get a new one. Or I guess you could take the car apart to get that. So just be careful getting that out. And then, yeah, I'm going to disconnect the battery before moving forward, because there's airbags all up in this ceiling here, and we don't want to somehow set one off. So I'm going to unplug the battery, unhook it, and then we're going to start tearing this apart. Alright guys, so the headliner is fully down, and the rails have been disconnected. I'll tell you right now, this electronic ratcheting tool is a lifesaver. Yeah, this made it a lot easier. And then with the extension, of course. But so that took a little bit of time. That was my first time taking the headliner down, but all in all, it wasn't the worst. The hardest bolts were for the rails. There was one way up in this hole, and then a couple of the plastic clips were kind of a pain, but other than that, I think we're good to go. All right, so I've roughly kind of unboxed everything. We have 8 aluminum crossbars, 2 side rails, and then all the hardware needed. There's 3 main crossbars that use these L brackets that support a ton of the weight. So there's a specific orientation these go. So there's a left, right, then there's the front, middle, and rear that these have to go in place. And then they use these rubber grommets, and then you bolt them in from underneath. And then, so we'll get those 3 set up, and then you apply the side rails. We'll get the side rails up and centered. Then you do the rest of the 5 crossbars, tighten those up, put them in the location that you want. I'm going to center them right off the bat, but I may, once put my cases up there, adjust them a little bit. And then you put the front fairing up. The fairing is the light bar version, so it's a little shorter. That allow me to run the light bar flush with the rack. And I will be continuing the last fit light bar. It's a really good bang for the buck. Maybe one day I'll get the new diode dynamic backlit light bars. They're super sick, but they cost about as much as this rack. So that one will have to wait, but we will get these 3 assembled. I'll show you the orientation and placement, and we'll go from there. So we're right on a roll to get this all finished up. Okay, so we have the main brackets all laid out here. They're all very kind enough. So M to label all of them. M middle, R for rear, and F for front. Now the orientation that each one needs to go is you look at these corners. So the corners face forward on these rubber gaskets. So it goes like that. Corner faces forward. The middle doesn't have those, but the rear does. So corner facing forward. So driver's side this is the driver's side, passenger side, and then middles are middle. So yeah, you take these, drop the hardware in there, and this basically creates the seal between the roof and the rack. So this presses down and creates that water seal, and then we have rubber plugs for the rest of the holes. So there's no extra drilling, and it should be totally waterproof. So we've got a total of 6 bolts to put back into the Outback's roof, and technically we could then put the headliner back up, but we'll finish the roof rack first and then complete that step. So I'm going to put these together and we're going to throw them up on top. Okay, so preparing the rubber gaskets that go on the roof. These do not come inside of them, so you're going to press these down into them. They're a little shorter than the actual thickness of the rubber gasket, so that when you tighten these down, it'll compress onto the roof and create that tight seal. So these all go up in there. Find them all up in here into the packaging, and once these are in, we'll get them set up on the roof and put the bars up. Okay, so we have the bars just very loosely up on the Outback, the rear, middle, and front. So for the 5th gens, you're going to skip the first 2 holes, so 1, 2, mount on the 3rd, skip 4, mount on the 5th, your middle bar, skip 6 and 7, and mount on 8. So in their video, the 6th gen, you mount on the 5th, which is like right here, but on the 6th gen, or sorry, 5th gen, you mount on the very last hole there, and then we'll use the plugs that they provide to plug up all these. And I'm thinking I'm going to remove this and then put their plug in right there. So I'm going to wait to tighten these down and then make sure they're even. They also will correlate with the side rail here. So on the side rail, you have all these slots here, as you can see. So the main mounting slots are going to be these little ones. So we kind of picked up this side rail, and all the main bars did align with these little ones here. And the 3rd is that very last one right there. So the crossbars are mounted in the right position on the 5th gen Outback, and I'm going to get those all semi-even, and then we'll mount the rails and the rest of the crossbars. Alright, the rack is fully tightened and complete. I do want to mention that some of the measurements in their video, the front one for the 5th gen, I know he was doing a 6th gen, he measured 5 inches from here to the end. That will not work on my car, so it ended up being like 4 7/8 to be about even. But so I ended up putting on the rails actually first, and all these bars, and then making sure that I wasn't bowing out in any way and that it was even on the vehicle, and then tightened everything down. But so now we're going to get the headliner back up, and once that's complete, I'll add my light bar up front. But so far everything is complete. I did notice, which is okay, but there's a little bit down to the metal there. At least it's aluminum, so it won't be rusting or anything. But I mean, I did not do that, so bit of a bummer, but I think I'll live. So I'm gonna get this back up, and the roof rack is basically complete, and it looks really good. We'll show you some after shots once I'm complete. Alright guys, so I finished the rack up. I still have yet to add a couple accessories like my light bar. But there's the finished product. It's looking pretty good. It looks very sleek on the Outback. So I, of course, got the headliner back up. And I would say the most difficult parts of doing the headliner were these handles, getting them back in. It took me a second, maybe I missed it or whatever, but I would reassemble those fully and then just pop them back in. So that is a little tip. I'm not sure if that was mentioned in the other Sherpa's videos or not. I didn't pay attention. But it took me a minute to figure that one out. And then the corners of the visor. So the other most difficult part I had was putting these visors back up. It's kind of funky because you have so much weight on one side, and I guess you could probably put this clip in first, which I didn't do, just wasn't thinking. But so I had a really difficult time because this was, you know, weighted and I couldn't get this to clip or screw in, so had a little help with that. So I did have a little bit of an issue with the clips that go back here. I don't have any spare push pin clips. One of them I broke and the other one sadly fell through there down to the bottom of the frame of the car. So well, wasn't worth trying to get that one. I'll probably replace him. But as you can see, everything, I mean, it's just a little bit of looseness there, but it's not too big of a deal for me. And I'll probably replace those clips really soon here. Other than that, the headliner went in basically just fine, other than those couple things. But not too difficult, but as the first time ever doing that, it took a little bit of time. I think if I ever have to do it again, now I know the little tricks and all the spots where all the tabs are, and it shouldn't take as long. But yeah, so I'm going to get a few accessories put on the Sherpa rack, and I guess stick around and see what that looks like. I do want to mention, so they have these window panels that attach up on the rack and kind of hang down. It's like a, not quite molly, but there's a lot of attachment points. I do not have those, but if you guys are interested in seeing what they look on the Outback, let me know and I may look into purchasing some. But for now, I do have some awning mounts and we'll get the light going, and I'm not sure if I'll put my cases on top quite yet. I might put one of them up there, but we'll see. I use the U-bolts and I just don't want to scratch up the paint on the crossbars quite yet. I might coat the U-bolts in something and then attach them, which is not a bad idea because maybe one day I'll get Rome cases and their mounts, but that's just not in my playbook at the moment. But that would be a dream. So let's just continue on. That's the main install, I guess. If you guys have any questions on it, let me know. I think this is a really slick looking rack, American made. This thing is certainly high quality. So let me get those accessories attached and you guys can take a peek kind of what it looks like on the Outback. And yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and we'll go from there. All right, everyone, here are the accessories I decided to put on the roof rack for now. We've got one of my Harbor Freight cases up there, we have my 32-inch light bar and the Roam awning. It was pretty easy to get all the accessories up on the Outback, but overall I believe this looks fantastic. If you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comment section. Alright guys, so that is the Olympus rack from Sherpa. It is the Subaru Outback 5th and 6th generation roof rack, and they also have racks for the Crosstrek and Forester. If you're interested in those, I would run to their website and check them out. But overall, I thought the install went pretty smoothly. My first time dropping a headliner in a vehicle, and it really wasn't too bad. Just follow all the steps and take it slow. And overall, I'm very happy that this is now complete. I do have some other videos that were filmed before this one that I will be getting out after posting this. So you might see my Outback in a different configuration, a roof rack configuration. But I just wanted to get this one out as soon as I could. And I did purchase this fully on sale, but I did purchase this, so please give me a thumbs up and a comment, and consider subscribing. It'll help me out a lot in the future. And let me know again if I should get those window panels. I think they're a really cool accessories. I do have a idea on what to mount to those, so let me know and I'll think about getting those and making a video on that as well. But overall, I'm really happy with the rack so far. And yeah, so I will see you guys in the next video.